start to
We are
record.
united by our ocean.
Man, reminds me of Master Jam. Go, go, go! Let's go!
Wasn't that incredible?
Hi everyone, I'm over here on main stage, and those were just two members of our Killer Whale pod, showing off their size, speed, power, and problem-solving abilities. These behaviors help keep the whales both active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired generations to care for the natural world, and we're excited to share their story with all of you today.
Killer whales are the ocean's top predator. They use cooperation and communication, not just size and strength, to take their place at the top of the ocean's food web. At the bottom are small animals, like krill. At the top, the apex predator, the killer whale. Killer whales are as big as a bus, faster than an Olympic swimmer, high flying and powerful.
We are going to see all of that today and more. These and other behaviors provide the whales with an environment full of enrichment.
We spend days, weeks, months, and years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, they present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Throughout today's presentation, you'll see the whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors help strengthen their social bonds and allow them to problem solve as a group. This is yet another reason they're known as the ocean's top predator. Their scientific name is the Orchinus orca, and their common name is killer whale. The 4 whales in our care have their own individual names: Sakari, Takara, and joining us out front are Kayuke and Tuar. Sakaris are youngest at 16 years old, and Takara the oldest at 34. Orcas live in a matriarchal society with one female in charge, but this spot that's Takara, which means she's the leader. These whales trust us, and they take an active role in their own health and well-being. Through the use of positive reinforcement training techniques, we're able to teach the whales husbandry or healthcare behaviors. Trainers Josh and Jacob are at the slide outs right now, and they're about to demonstrate just a few of those behaviors for all of y'all today. One of the very first behaviors we teach our whales is something we call a fluke present, in which the whales present their tail flukes to the trainers. Not only does this allow us to get a view of their entire ventral side, but it also provides access to the easy-to-see veins which run in the white underside of their tail flukes. Our veterinarians can collect a blood sample from these veins at least once a month, and the whales are conditioned to remain calm throughout the entire procedure, just as Tuar is demonstrating. Now, during today's experiments, you'll see us giving the whales back rubs, tail massages, or even splashing them with water. That's because killer whales have very sensitive skin, and this is a great way for us to further build our relationships with them. Now, collecting blood is just one of the ways we can monitor the whale's health. Another critical diagnostic tool we use is their weight. We can learn how much each individual whale weighs by asking them to slide their body up and out of the water onto a killer whale size scale, which is located in one of our back adjacent pools. Now, I want y'all to notice, with Kayuke in the slide out, a portion of his body from his dorsal fin all the way to his tail flukes remains partly in the water. Now, with that in the water, we would not get an accurate weight on the whales because that part of their body is called the peduncle, and it can weigh several hundreds of pounds. So to solve that issue, we've simply conditioned the whales to lift their heads and tails up and out of the water. And that's how we know that as of this week, Kayuke is weighing in at 10,050 pounds. It is imperative for us to monitor all our animals' weights to ensure their younger ones, like Sakari, are growing appropriately, and our adult whales, like Kayuke, are maintaining a healthy weight. Husbandry behaviors like fluke presents and slide outs help to ensure the whales remain healthy and thriving.
And the care isn't just physical. Mental stimulation and play are vital, and we surprise and engage with our whales at every opportunity. Play is how killer whales teach their young to hunt, and for the adults, play is important too. It seems that they just enjoy having fun. Making time for play is an important part of life for killer whales, and for us.
Observational learning and mimicry play critical roles in the life of a killer whale. From the moment they're born, they learn necessary life skills by observing and mimicking their mothers and other members of their pod. Now here at SeaWorld, they even do that with us. And we're going to see that in action right now with the help of Tuar's new friend, Jeremiah. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to Tuar. Give him a big wave hello. Would you look at that? He saw you and is paying very close attention to you. Killer whales are very curious animals, and they're often seen spy hopping or jumping out of the water to get a better view of their surrounding. Now Tuar is going to demonstrate that with a behavior we call a sighting bow. Watch as he jumps right in the center. Now that looked like so much fun. We're gonna make our way over to the other side of the stadium where Kayuke is hanging out with his new friend. so we can learn a little bit about how killer whales communicate. They use a variety of methods of communication, and one of those is the use of vocalizations through their blowhole. Now, why don't you go ahead and ask Kayuke to demonstrate just one of those vocalizations? That was beautiful, Kayuke! Scientists believe that killer whales can also communicate by tapping certain parts of their body on the surface of the water. You see, sound waves travel about 4.5 times faster in water than they do through air. So when a killer whale leaps out of the water and its body crashes back down on the surface, that is called a breach, and that sound can be heard 4 miles around. Oh no, we had no idea that was going to happen. Thanks for being such a great sport, and here's the towel. Let's give a round of applause for our amazing audience volunteers and our killer whales! As we just saw, killer whales can communicate by leaping out of the water and making a huge splash. SeaWorld's research and observation of the killer whales in our care has shed light on many mysteries about these incredible animals. For example, we now know that the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale is 17 months. That kind of information would be impossible to obtain out in the wild. Now, some information can only be obtained through field observation, which is why over the past 60 years, SeaWorld has worked closely with our conservation partners from around the world to further our own knowledge. Killer whales are remarkable, powerful animals. Perhaps the best expression of that power is when they hunt.
Killer whales stand apart. They have no natural predators, and just about any other ocean animal could be their dinner. Depending on where they live and their chosen prey, they've developed some epic hunting techniques. Off the coast of South America, killer whales will beach themselves, riding in on waves just long enough to catch prey. They'll also create waves that knock animals like penguins or seals from ice floes. Most importantly, they cooperate, communicate, and coordinate as a team. Here's footage of killer whales corralling a school of herring. A whale dips in and feeds, while the other whales keep the fish together with swipes of their tail fins.
In the ocean, killer whales create waves to hunt. They use fluke swipes to stun their prey, and they can even beach themselves up and out of the water. For these whales, it's a fun demonstration, but for you, it's time to get wet!
should post.
Killer whales are amazing athletes! They can eat over 100 pounds of food in just one day. Depending on where they live and the time of year, that prey can vary. Unfortunately, things like overfishing and pollution pose serious threats to many populations of killer whales.
Killer whales are impressive animals, and it's pretty obvious why they're the top predator in the ocean. That means killer whales are invincible, right? Wrong.
Killer whales depend on a plentiful food source and a clean environment. They're completely dominant, yet completely dependent.
When it comes down to it, killer whales are not the most powerful animal in the ocean.
Their future depends on you.
Through your actions.
Through the choices we all make.
We hold the future of killer